Morning, Trainiacs. Little kettlebell workout. So as a lot of the athletes on our team are starting to move around with kettlebells, probably getting all torn up in the hands or getting bruised on the back of the forearm, or maybe even having some wrist pain. So what I'm gonna do today is show you completely how to handle a kettlebell safely so that you don't get torn up, so that you get bruised. Not at all, but maybe just this much less. Okay, so when most people start using a kettlebell, me included, they tend to have a few things with their hands. Hands are the biggest problem. They'll get cut a lot and get a big bruise about the size of if you're Canadian, a toonie on the back of their forearm. Might also end up getting a little bit of wrist pain. Now, all of these things are not good because, well, it's gonna be uncomfortable, so you're not going to want to do the workouts. It's also going to cause you to change your technique in a way that might get you injured. Also, if you're getting wrist pain anywhere, that means that there's some impingement and you might be getting long-term injuries. So learning how to handle a kettlebell is really, really critical. Fortunately, it's very easy. If you get the right technique at the start, you can get it like within a few minutes. This isn't necessarily just brute strength. There's a lot of technique to this. It's kind of like swimming or even yoga. So first thing to know with a kettlebell is that how most people start handling the kettlebell isn't right. Most people start handling the kettlebell basically just straight on, right across the center, and they're gonna grip it really, really tight, trying to manhandle it, putting this death grip on it because they think they gotta control the bell. Now, what you actually wanna do is you wanna hold it fairly lightly, and you wanna hold it more at an angle. So think about it like you're just kind of hooking your way onto the bell, and it tends to be at an angle around the middle lifeline of your hand. And in a lot of cases, depending on the size of the bell, you're actually in the corner a little bit more. So as opposed to in the middle with this strong death grip, you're at a little bit of a relaxed angle and then just gently holding the bell. So not having that big death grip is going to result in a lot less of the pulling as you're moving the bell around, which is what causes that tearing. Now, if it's just light and it's just flowing around like that, there's gonna be a lot less tearing. So whether you have sweaty hands or not, it's not really going to make a difference. Next. This up here is what's called the racked position. This is where a lot of positions end up starting and finishing. You can do thrusters from here. You can do shoulder presses from here. You are going to end up doing other larger compound movements from this position. And where most people end up starting is they go like this. And they get their hand up into this position here. And they might not even be resting it on their forearm. It's kind of just like this, or maybe like that. That's putting a lot of pressure. And the reason that a kettlebell is so beneficial, especially to triathletes, is that as opposed to a dumbbell, where you're grabbing in the center and the weight is on each side, where the center of mass is right in the middle, the center of mass in a kettlebell is off to the side. So it's always gonna wanna pull you over to the side. And if you have it way over here and your wrist is cocked back like that, there's a lot of pulling over to the side and it's impinging a lot of things. So the racked position is kind of like, think about it like your back of your wrist is straight and you're punching yourself in the chin. So it's coming up here, punching yourself in the chin, flat back of the wrist, and notice how I'm at that little bit of an angle here. I'm still nice and loose because I don't really have a whole lot of weight in the hand. It's being rested on the forearm and the bicep. This is going to allow you to hold weight. Like you saw me during that workout, I have a hard time even just moving this 54-pound kettlebell around. But when I get it into the racked position, all of a sudden it's my entire torso that's holding this. And I'm just kind of keeping it in place with the hand, holding lightly. Now for the next one, well, it's kind of like a rite of passage. For triathletes and cyclists, it's kind of like that first time that you go out with clip-in shoes and guaranteed you fall. Most people are going to get that bruise on the back of their forearm when they first start using a kettlebell. Now, I'm gonna use this lighter kettlebell so that I can slowly demonstrate what's happening. Why people are getting that bruise on the back of their forearm is because the kettlebell movement is going around the hand. So let's say the hand is stationary as you're moving it. It's going around and flopping back and getting that hit. You want to move your hand around the kettlebell in a organized position. So a way to think about it is this is the kettlebell moving around your hand. That hurts. This is your hand moving around the kettlebell. So as opposed to a flip up, it's your hand moving around the kettlebell. So coming from the ground, which is where most of these issues happen, as opposed to an out and a flip back like that, it's a slight lift, and as you're lifting, you just got that nice gentle grab on it, and it's kind of like this. So you can come out, start that movement, and think of it like you're the one controlling it with your hand, and then getting that flat back wrist. From the side, it's not that, it is up like that, into the racked position. So up, into the racked position, into the racked position. And when you get that, you can move all the way up to heavy kettlebells. You can move up to a 54. You're not gonna have 54 pounds slapping on the back of your wrist. It's the light grab, it's the slight twist, it's the into the racked position, and all of a sudden, you can handle heavy kettlebells or any kettlebell without ripping up your hands or getting those bruises. Now, this isn't going to come instantly. It might take 3-4 workouts before you start wrapping your head around these movements, because you're reprogramming neuromuscular patterns that you've developed. But stick with it for the 3-4 workouts, and after that time, if you're doing it right, you should have it down, because your body's going to want to figure out how to do things a little bit easier. If you want to learn more about kettlebells, I'm currently going through the Agatsu Fitness Kettlebell certification, and I find them really, really helpful, so you can go check them out. And if you want a full training plan that includes your strength training, all done with kettlebells, with 25 hours of guided kettlebell workouts designed for when you need it at different times of the endurance training season, during off season where we go a little bit heavier, during race season where we go a little bit lighter, during rest weeks where we give you a fair bit of rest and focus on more mobility using the kettlebell as that tool to guide you completely. You can get that training at app.mymotive.com. Try it out for free for 14 days. If you like it, stick around. And if you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. Later, Trainiacs.